Hello, boobies.
Wah, wah, wah.
I would just say build a better deck.
Get the fuck out!
Ooh, welcome to the CommanderSmiths.
We are the CommanderSmiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowry Smith.
Don't worry.
We're cousins.
This is episode 380. And what are we doing? What are we doing tonight, Lowry? We're talking
We're
about
doing core cards for Commander Red.
Woo!
And we're going to complain about Secret Lair.
Woo!
Just a little bit.
We could probably do that right
Because,
away,
I mean,
too.
I don't think this is any new news.
New news.
But
yeah.
they fucked up.
Well, yeah, we've done episodes after like ones would
Right.
sell out so quick. We're like, what the fuck is going on? And then we haven't done this for 7 weeks, but we have Stump the Smith Savant that's going to be coming back.
Yep.
So we got Stump the Smith
It's
Savant,
hockey.
and Mr. Ibukaki is
You're saying it with like an accent now, like you or
Ibukaki.
It's
we have Ibukaki
Ibukaki.
being the stumper. So we'll see if he can get you. It's been a while. I had to look back. This is the second week. So once we get to, get out of here, Cole. Speaking of all that, I mean, we just got out of that's not really speaking of that. That was not a transition at all. But we just got done with pre-release weekend, and we both did a pre-release. You did one on the last set, and I haven't done one since Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. So it's been a minute for me. First off, you went first. You were on Friday. How did everything go? What did you think of everything and all the legendaries and all that?
So normally it's been seeded packs for a while, probably since the first Cons of Tarkir, like where you could be like choose a faction, and then the first pack is seeded, and then that really helps you kind of gear a deck. And I haven't done a limited event where I just have to come up with shit in a while, and there are so many cards that did stuff. Like, it was hard to build a deck. It took me the full hour. I was sleeving it, trying to get like.
Weren't you also late getting there too?
I was. They actually didn't start until about 2 minutes after I got there, but
okay. So
it was supposed to start at 7. I got there at 7:10. They started like 7:15. So
gotcha.
Officially, but it took me a really long time to come up with a deck. Honestly, I don't know if you had that problem.
I normally do. I will say that. Normally it comes down to the last couple minutes, but I had mine sleeved in 10 minutes to go. So, and I was able to kind of, but mine was easier because the direction of where, like, my problem is figuring out which two. I always do 2 colors. I never do 1. I never do 3. It's always 2. So I'm always trying to figure out what the pairs work. But white and black for me, they just worked together so well that I was like, well, this is easily what I'm going with. And so that's why I went with that. And I had 7 to 8 removal spells in mine and then a ton of creatures. So I was like, this is an easy one. Like, I guess when I'm building, it's always looking for either enough spot removal or counter spells if I'm going blue, which I don't counter spell in Commander, but I will counter spell the crap out of you in limited. So but yeah, so you had to go all the way up to the basically
because I pulled a VV.
Oh, good.
So I was definitely going red blue.
Oh, good for you.
But I had multiple cards that were making those little 0-1 wizards that dealt damage to everybody. And so I had black that I had 2 of the equipment that were doing it, and I had the sacrifice one that did it, and then some red, and then VV, and I was like, man, this could really get going where I'm dealing 3-4 damage per non-creature spell. But I was just like, I'm going red blue, 2 colors the thing. Had 10 minutes left, and I'm like, I'm adding black.
Oh,
and started adding black.
You added
yeah.
3. Wow.
And so I really messed up there. It went my first round, and I flooded like crazy. I had 17 land in there and some ramp, and it was brutal. And then I cut it down to red blue again, and it ran smooth. I did not change my land count. I dropped 1 ramp spell with my alt art chromatic lantern, and it was flowing. And then so I won that one, won the 3rd round. So I went 2-1 overall.
So you're kind of
not displeased with it.
Wish you would have stuck with just didn't add the black in then in the beginning. Like,
yeah, because it wasn't. I don't know. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't a color fixing issue. The problem was just I was ending the game with 12 pieces of mana on the board and like 3 lands in my hand, and all my spells played out forever. I was just top decking lands. It was brutal. And just sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because that guy beat me, and then 3rd round I was playing his friend, and I was running good and beat him. Like that's that. I don't know.
Nice.
So that's just how it happens sometimes. And I really did enjoy it. Did you enjoy yours?
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Pre-releases are a lot of fun.
They are. That's the one thing I'll do that isn't Commander. Like I like pre-release. I like, here's a bunch of cards, figure out how to build this shit and make a good deck that you can handle stuff and everything. So I tend to do pretty good with the pre-release stuff, like not tooting my own horn, but but I'll do fine. But I get shit cards besides the one that I got in my prize pack. You know, once we at the end.
No, your cards weren't shit. You had good cards.
They worked together very well. Yeah. So no, I had basically soldier or warrior. Was it or knights? No, it's
Warriors,
knights.
probably.
It's knights. I had a knight kind of theme in it because I had black and white cards working together. I had destroy creature theme in it as well. So I had a lot of cards that worked together. So that was really nice. And then just enough removal with, that removal spell, the 4-drop removal that gains you life. And then when you have lifelink things that work well when you gain life, it works well in that. 4-drop kill spell is pretty nice and limited with that. So the first match, the very first 2 games, which is the only match that I swept it, was the only match that I had to mulligan down to 6 the first game and 5 the second, and I still came back and won both of those games. And then my other games, one was against Tad. Both of them I lost the first game and then took the next 2. And both of those games that I lost, I just didn't get my removal. I got 1 removal spell in each of those. And then the next 2, it was like removal. And you could just like the second guy I played, he was just like, I can't do anything. I concede. Like everything that he got out, I was like, dead. And then my army just kept getting bigger. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Mark is our cousin Mark. He played with you or in that tournament, in that pre-release, and then he played in my pre-release. He has done Tarkir and Aether Drift, all those pre-releases. He has yet to lose a game, not a match, a game. He has won all his games. So him and I were the only ones who went 3-0, but he got a better placing because he didn't lose a game. I lost 2 games in my matches. So
for sure.
Tad got the stupid cactus is 9,999, and all he wanted to do was just fling that shit to my face. Not fling it. There's a self-destruct one.
He's trying to be a monkey and fling shit to your face.
He never got it. But I don't know if I used I had the overkill spell. I had the opposite, the minus 9,000. Yeah, that was one of my kill spells. So, but yeah, that's all he wanted to do. He's like, if I could just kill you with a stupid cactus, I'll be fucking set. But he did do
he was
that.
he was texting me that same thing too. Like he's like, I'm gonna kill him with this. I'm like, I'm driving. Sorry that I didn't respond right away.
Yeah. So it was fun. I wish I could do pre-releases more often, and I think I might try to make an effort to go. And I know you said the same thing to Mark after, because I was like, hey, thanks for the invite, because I wouldn't have gone, but you were like, hey, you guys want to do this? And I was like, I think I can make this work. And so yeah, it worked out pretty nice. And I think you kind of did the same thing. You're like, I can't do Saturday, but I can do Friday if you want to do that. And Mark's like, yeah, I'll do both nights.
Yeah. He made it work.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun.
Lotion in the motion of the ocean.
Yeah. And, it seemed really popular. It was pretty busy. We only had 12 people. 12? Yeah, 12.
We had a full event. It was.
How many people did you have playing?
I don't know. I didn't fucking count. I showed a plate. I
Well,
don't want to be like,
Well, I was just thinking, because you had to do the app thing. I bet you didn't like that, did you?
I was doing it in the car while I was trying.
Nice. That was. I think that was my first time using the app. I might have used it. I think it was at New Capenna, or not New Capenna, Kamigawa. If I remember right. Yeah, I think I had it, but that's been so long. But yeah, pre-releases. If we're not doing Commander, I like pre-releases. Like, that's perfect. I don't draft or anything but that's fun too. I know that's another format with pretty fun stuff. So, anyways, should we talk about the secret layer that happened today and that is already sold out and all that fun stuff?
Yeah.
Let me
that was
jump over to
pretty
the
wild
secret layer.
I like this is probably the one time that Mr. Hockey's going to listen to the whole thing. He might go to bed early though too. He might not care.
Especially since we're talking about secret layer stuff. So yeah, the secret layer dropped today, and unfortunately, fortunately, whatever, the Final Fantasy is all sold out at this point, and I think it's all sold out across the board. Nope, we have the last thing that is available, if you so choose to get it, is actually the one that we thought was the best, and the one that is sold out took the longest to sell out, but that is the what is it, Grimoire drop. Which has the Cyclonic Rift and the Heroic Intervention and Lightning Bolt in it, but it's only in the Japanese foil version. The non-foil sold out first for some odd reason.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. No, I shouldn't say odd reason. The non-foils, people have this thing about foils thinking that they're still Pringles with the secret layers, and it really isn't anymore since they've done the double rainbows and stuff like that. So, whatever. But they sold out. The lines were, how long? You didn't even get to yours. Guy got yours, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But I was in checkout within seconds, and luckily I did 2 browsers, which I'll give I said that in the Discord, but I recommend to everybody, if you're really wanting a drop really bad, if you're just like, if I get it, whatever, then don't do this. But if you really are like, this is my jam, I want it, and it's really popular, open 2 different browsers, not like 2 Chrome browsers. Do Google Chrome and then get Microsoft Edge and do them at the same time, because my Google Chrome, which I had in queue for checkout, went immediately, and then my Microsoft Edge I did within 3 seconds. That one I got done to checkout an hour before the other one. And that one should have been in line first, but it is a lotto system, is what we're kind of figuring out.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
So you get a bottleneck.
There was Renshai and Bill from Woodbury. They were in line for 3.5, 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
And I'll say that the bundle, the Final Fantasy bundle, was sold out before an hour mark. That.
It was about roughly 45 minutes.
Yeah. So that is really freaking quick. So what we wanted to kind of talk about was, and we've done this before, but we're just going to do a grinds my gears of, they should really turn this into a print to demand.
Absolutely.
Go back to the old school way of doing it. There's so many things that make sense to why they do it. I don't understand why they don't do it that way. They're leaving money on the table at this point.
Right. You just think of how many of the Final Fantasy ones that they would have sold. They would make a shit ton of money everybody would be happy getting product. And people, I would think, are more upset now not getting the product versus when it shows up a month later than what it does now.
Right.
Like, just a little bit of patience. Like, everybody complaining about that. It was legitimate. Like, it did take time, but in the balance of would you rather not have it versus have it a month later, people are going to guarantee you say, I'd rather have it in hand just later.
Yes.
And so it's a bad system. You could hedge your bets, but they still have stuff from the last couple that are just sitting there too.
From last
so they've
fall.
overprinted it.
From last fall, they still have stuff from that.
Yeah, they're wasting money in that regard when they're pre-printing it and then they don't sell it.
Yeah.
Like, that looks bad too. It's not that it looks bad. It's just you spent money.
Right.
And it's not going to sell until maybe forever. I don't know, until the prices appreciate or people feel like they have to pay for it. But
and what I'll say is I think that they do the model of the pixels, and I said that on Discord too. The pixel one. The pixel ones, what they did was it was a print to demand, but they had a limited supply that were ready to get shipped out. And once they got to that point, they changed it on the site and they said, now when you buy, you're not going to get it until January. Like, it was like 2 months out, 3 months out or whatever. And that was fine. Like, people didn't bitch about it. And the other thing about that is there's an Urza's for life. Dig it. The thing about that is you also can get the people that really want to get in there to sell these, like myself, spec them, spec on these and all that. Those people are still incentivized to get in there early, get their order in so that they get the product right away instead of having to wait a few months. So you're still getting that, like, almost like it is now. You want to still be there right when it opens for the people that are like myself, but then the people that just want it for their collection or their decks and stuff like that and have a month to do it, they're going to take their time, and it doesn't feel like I need to be on there right when the drop goes. And maybe what they're thinking is, well, there's a FOMO demand. The FOMO is the reason why we're selling so much. And I think that's BS. I think on these, there's going to be the same amount of people that we're buying right now, the same amount. And right now they be continuously selling them. Like, as we're talking right now, they'd probably be selling hundreds as every minute that goes by. Because this is hundreds. Only people from the cities know what we're talking about there, and only people that listen to K-Fan. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense that they haven't switched to this. And the thing that I don't like is switch back. Yes, switch back, because they have done it. That's the other thing is this is the thing you've done. This is what it was for years, and now you've gone to this, which it did suck. I'll admit, when that's all we knew was like, God damn it, you're making these secret layers. And then it's taking you 3 months to get it to us. But honestly, I'd rather have that than this, And even though I got what I wanted, I'm fearful of putting my stuff up for sale because I don't want people to be like, oh, scalper, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, this is what I've been doing for years, and they've changed their style of how to do it, and it sucks because I don't like taking flack for it because it's just, this is what I do. This is what I've been doing. This is how the dollar to duels and whatever. My collection has been getting bigger because of this and all that, but whatever. So I don't know. I want them to change it because I think it's going to make everybody happy. And I don't know how you get them to understand that. like enough bitching. They aren't listening to us.
That's why they switched over. So basically, if you're upset, send Wizards
that's a good point.
Just send them a message. Be like, #print to demand.
Yeah.
That's probably what has to happen. We don't have Twitter anymore, so somebody else do this. It's not going to be us.
Yeah. Right.
We are not the change in the world we want to see. So that's just
No,
it is what it is. You got basically squeaky wheel. Do your thing, people.
I think that's a good point. If you really want this changed, it is probably take the effort to send a message in because they get enough of it. of people saying it, you need to go back to print to demand. And I don't know, maybe part of it was, I'm just throwing this out there, the drops they used to do, it used to be like a month. Well, that's kind of there now. Month in between.
No, they were a month long.
Yeah, but they were a month long.
That was also not a good thing for them.
But then they didn't have any overlap. One would end and then the next one would begin like the next week. Whereas they go in spurts where like.
But in my opinion, purely guessing, I don't think they started printing until the end of the month when everything finished.
You're probably right.
And then they were like, okay, here's our numbers. Let's print it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it pushed out so long. So my thing would be is give it 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Everybody's pay period is 2 weeks, and it'll land somewhere within that. Because that's another thing. I think some people would wait until they got a little bit more money in their account or whatever. And so you give everybody enough time to at least get a paycheck and not feel bad about spending money. And you go at it.
It maybe
it doesn't have to be a month.
Right.
I guarantee you they got their graph too of clearly the day or two when it's happening, when they release it is when it most happens. And then you can see when do people stop actually buying?
Right.
Probably after a week. And then if you just pull it another week then you're good to go. I think that'd be really easy to shorten it up, and then you're printing earlier, and you probably shave two weeks off your time of people getting it, making them happy. It's the model. That's what's happening. It's the model of what's going on.
Do you think that there's also they want more traffic on the site, so that's why they have all these other ones still on there? Because once the drop, before when a drop was dead, gone, then the site is dead. No one needs to go to that site. So maybe they just butt it up to the next secret layer that's coming,
I mean, I think personally, I could be wrong, but to me, I doubt they sell anything in between. They get it when it's happening, whenever a new one comes out.
That first couple days, you're saying.
It doesn't look good when they have something from the fall still there.
Right.
That just tells you that they had a bad product.
Which sucks because some of those are ones that I spec'd on. I'm like, damn it, this is going to be years.
Another thought that I was having about, those couple of random, what are they, chaos drops?
Chaos Vault.
I'll bet you those were planned to be in super drops, but they were late to print. So like their printing process didn't happen quick enough, and so they just arrived later than the others, and then they weren't included. That would be my guess.
Throw it in the chaos stuff. Yeah.
Just when we get it, let's set it out there. Let's call it something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a pure guess.
Yeah. I mean, you can have those like the cats and dogs one where that was limited, I guess. You could have some limited ones, but I think you just change it all to time frame, not just print to demand. Right. Have your 10,000 that you make ahead of time, and those go out to the first 10,000 that order. And then after that, it's going to be a month before you get this. Everybody's happy. Yeah. There isn't anybody that's bad. Like, you'll still have people that are mad because we're Magic players and they seem to bitch about everything. But for the most part, a majority of the population will be happy with that change. So, I don't know. All right. Do you want to talk anything more with the secret layer stuff?
I was just trying to think of what the old saying. I haven't heard it in a long time, so I could be butchering it, but Matt, you could put $20 in a pack of Magic and people would open it and still be upset.
Yeah.
I think that's what it used to be. I mean, we do a lot of complaining.
We try not to do as much. I mean, we're complaining here just to try to make it better.
We're complaining here, but it's more of just like, we love the product.
Yeah.
We just want it to be better for everybody.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying. Because we're doing it. I love the art. I love the Final Fantasy. I'm thinking like, I probably, I'm not going to go back and do everything, but I've been thinking about playing video games for a few years now again.
Yeah. Well, we've been just seeing the Discord just go crazy with all these video games. I'm like,
right.
Oh, I want to play.
Right.
Dang it.
If this ever ends the podcast, I'll get into video games.
What's that?
That's what it is.
That's what it's only
because the kids aren't going anywhere,
right?
So something has to give.
Well, we got some years left on that, and then whatever. Then you got other stuff. All right, let's move on. Okay, so before we get into it, let me just do a little shout out to our podcast. You guys can support us by becoming a patron. $1 gets you in the Discord. That's basically our way of communicating. If you want to talk to us directly besides YouTube, that is the other way. You guys can become a patron on the Discord because we don't have Blue Sky, we don't have X, we don't have all that fun stuff. So that is the way. But if you go higher on the tiers, you can get proxies like this little guy right here. We got the, what is it? And I always forget which one it is. It's enduring vitality. And the deer. So this is the stump prize that we've had for 2 months now at this point because we haven't done it for a while. But you can get proxies like this this month. Oh wait, I should show that off. Hang on a second. Yep, you're seeing my face. I got these done. Let's see if I can pop this up. Oh no, hang on. Now you're gonna see one that's a non-foil. So this is a non-foil. So this, if you move higher in the tiers, you can get the foils, but $5 gets you into the non-foils. But I made the upon Lowry's request, he's like, "Do we have Don's Truce?" And I was like, "Well, we don't. I'll make it." But I made it with the owl from the Tootsie Pop commercial. So that is Don's Truce
2,
3. So, and actually I have this. I started putting this in decks and because I'm trying not to use Teferi's Protection all the time. So that's the replacement there. So anyways, you guys get patron perks, so you're supporting us. That helps us out, but then also we give back where you get some of the proxies. We have over 400 proxies at this point. So financially, that's the way you guys can support us. The other way is you guys can buy our merch on our store, which is actually my eBay account. That is also linked below. You can get these mugs like this. Lowry, do you have your red one? There's a red one. There it is right there. Yeti mugs that holds, this is 2 beers in here. And also we have metal tokens, and then eventually we'll be probably getting these hats that'll be on there as well. So that is another way you guys can support us. And then the last, well, this isn't really supporting us, but we do have a raffle going on down below for this little guy right here, which is a Scrubland. Right now we are up to $60. Once we hit that $325, we will spin the wheel. Every dollar that you donate is an entry in there, 1 entry. So if you donate $5, you get 5 entries, and we will spin the wheel and somebody will win that dual land, and we will take 2 shots of Malort. So that is the other thing. Other than that, you guys can subscribe to our channel. You've clicked this video to watch it. It's easy enough. Hit that like button. If you're not subscribed at this point, please do so. That is the tags. If you need to get a hold of us otherwise, any other way, CommanderSmiths@gmail.com. All right, let's move on to the beer and pizza. So we have core cards for Commander, and this is red edition. Now I know it's been almost 2 months since we've done this, but this whole bit is something that we did early on in the podcast. So we went through every red card that we thought was a core card, and so that was like a 2-hour-long episode pretty much. It was just cards.
Long,
yeah,
for sure.
So this is, how is this done, Larry? How are we doing the core cards for Commander here?
All right, well, Phase 5 is our style at this point. We don't have to decide on the list. We kind of get to choose what we feel we're using a lot more of than other cards. It's not just an EDH rec list. And we can steal each other's, and we got to figure out the next one. It probably will happen here more often than the Phase 5 Legends for a set or anything, but that's kind of the way we're going right now.
So it ends up being a top 10, and it doesn't mean that this is like the top cards in red. It's what we feel we personally play with a lot.
Right.
We feel like that are really good cards for your toolbox that you should probably have, and that maybe you play a different kind of style of decks and you never use these cards, but these are the ones that we like to use and feel like you should have in your collection. So, Lowry, that being said, I'm going to have you start this one off. Why don't you give us our first?
You think because you won the tournament, you can just dictate who goes first or second?
I feel like maybe we should, at some point, whoever wins the tournament until the next tournament, that person is always first, because we just do it on the next tournament. They get to pick first, but I'm going to let you go first.
Okay, yeah, so you just want the power. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay. Okay, I'm going to try and avoid the ones that I think we both want to pick.
What? I thought you were talking about stealing and stuff like that.
No, I know we could, but I'm gonna make sure I get the cool ones in.
All right.
And I'm gonna go with the one that Hockey is very adamant about using, and I completely agree with him. It makes games a lot of fun, along with fucking moving it along.
I have it on my list. I already know where this is going.
Descent into Avernus.
Yeah, I have.
I want to make sure I get this. Oh, you are yelling into Scryfall, huh?
What? Oh, and I was like, is it doing that? Remember when my mic used to do that? All of a sudden it was like, it's like, is it doing that again? Yeah.
No. Descent into Avernus. 200 red enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, put 2 descent counters on Descent into Avernus. Then each player creates X treasure tokens, and Descent into Avernus deals X damage to each player, where X is the number of descent counters on Descent into Avernus. I don't know how many times I got to say Descent, but I did it. And
that's pretty sweet.
But this card is great, and it doesn't have that feeling of like I'm just straight up helping my opponents.
Right.
Which a lot of these kind of cards feel like.
Yeah. It's doing it on your turn, which is nice. I like that it's not everybody's
during
upkeep.
theirs.
Yeah. It's your turn. Everybody gets their treasures, and it deals the damage. So you're getting your benefit right away. Everybody else has to kind of, well, they can use it then, but, you know, if you're wanting to take advantage of it during your turn. But then, yeah, like Bill from Woodbury saying it's a clock there. So it goes 2 damage. The next turn's 4 damage. Then it's 6 damage. And, hey, it just keeps going up and up. But you're also
Once
getting
you get to
treasures.
8, like I don't know if I've ever seen it get beyond 8. Like you're moving right there.
Yeah,
That's
people
it's
are
done a ton of damage at that point.
People are dropping
Everybody's
bombs.
playing whatever they want.
Yeah. I want to play this more. I need to own it is the problem.
You don't own this?
I don't own it, but I love it. I've wanted to put it in decks, and then it ends up getting a cut last minute, and it really should be in my treasure deck. So I really do just need to pull the trigger. It's only $8 or $9, I think, at this point. Is that what
it's fantastic. I have this in my Rowan deck because it's damaging myself.
It's only $5.
Along with everybody else. I have this in Niv Mizzet because I'm drawing so many cards off of it. I want to say I have it in my Narev deck now, just like it's dealing damage, and maybe it's not there. It's at least 3 decks right now, and it's a ton of fun every time.
Yep.
I highly suggest playing this more often.
Yep, I agree. I like it. All right, well, I'm going to do one that we've talked about before, and I know you're not going to pick it, but I'm going to take it just because I like it. Oops, it's Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Fable.
That was on my list.
There we go. Come on. And okay, spelled it right. Oh, maybe I didn't. Did I not spell Fable right?
That's it. Oh, you got the German one.
It's spelled. Damn it!
Vom Spitzelbreaker.
Did I spell it wrong? I did because I put the EL. Fable of the. So it gave me the all right, there's Fable the Mirror Breaker. I love this card. I know it's a saga. We're dealing with a lot of sagas, especially with the Final Fantasy. But I don't just play this in a saga deck because that first one, we're talking about treasures again, creates that goblin shaman. And whenever it attacks, you get a treasure token, and then you can discard on the second level and draw that many cards. And then it flips over to kind of a fair-ish Kiki-Jiki. Create a token that's a copy of another target creature or non-legendary creature, except it gains haste. That part is like bonus, because most of the time when I'm using it is for this first level right here, getting that goblin that makes me some treasures. And so I end up using this quite a bit. Goes in a lot of red decks that I feel like need some more help with, making lands, getting some ramp or whatever. So I end up putting this in almost every red deck that I have. So highly
totally
recommend
agree.
it.
Like I put it in where I like the whole thing, because I like the looting aspect of discarding 2 cards and drawing 2 cards.
Yeah.
I like that aspect because I like seeing more cards if I need to. I like making copy. I'm playing good cards, so I want to make copies of those good cards.
Oh, good
with the backside.
for you.
Yeah, I'm good at. I play good cards.
Wait,
sometimes
I would just say
I'm
build
kind
a
of just
better
almost
deck.
said I'm good at this. That's not true. And so yeah, this was on my list. It was very heavily potentially going to be picked. But you stole that one from me. Legit.
All right.
Nice job.
All right. What is going to be your second pick?
Like I want you to pick one of these and then I'll pick the other. So we'll wait. Okay, so this is in blue. I talked about like preordained ponder, like that kind of card. I'm going to do that for red and just talk about one that I really enjoy right now. But Sazakap's Brew.
Oh, I don't know. That's not mine. How do you spell it first name?
It's very Canadian. SAZACA.
All right, I probably can get it there.
P.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know this one here.
So 1 in a red instant. You get to gift a tap fish. This is from Bloomborough. As an additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card. So this is very much like Thrill of Possibility. It is Demand Answers. They've made a handful of cards like this, and I like this one probably the most right now. So discarding a card to draw 2 cards, and then if a gift was promised, target creature you control gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Now why is that important? Because you're targeting, and the cool thing is like in a feather deck, you get that back in your hand again. And right now I have it in my Shinku and Nar set, where that's targeting, so I can copy it. And whenever you copy this kind of effect, whenever it states an additional cost to cast this spell, discard a card, when you copy it, you don't have to discard that card again. Now it specifically has to say as an additional cost to cast the spell. Because there are some that are like Faithless Looting is draw 2, discard 2.
Yeah, so you'd have to do
or
that.
And some of them are discard a card to draw a card. If they're like within the same motion, copying it, you're copying all of it. But with Brew here and Thrill Possibility, that kind of card, when you copy it, you're just drawing 4 cards then. And that's great.
Yeah, no, that's solid.
And so this is in 3, 4, 5 decks of mine. If it's in red, I'm liking this right now.
Yeah.
So
I dig that a lot, actually. The drawing the 2 cards, instant speed for 2, like that's really nice. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Dig that. I like the gifts. Like the gifts seem pretty solid, you know, like even with that Dawn's Truce, like in situations you don't need to do the indestructible part. You just need the protection. So it's like, well, I don't need a gift, you know, but then sometimes gifting is here, draw a card, all my stuff still stays.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. So, all right. So I'm going to kind of hit the same set, and this is actually going to kind of hit 2 cards in a way. And this is why I'm hitting the same. So this is also going to be with Perforos, but it's a Gate Instigator. So Perforos, the Godforge, that one is, you know, it's a 4-drop god. When your creatures enter, deals 2 damage to each opponent. A Gate Instigator is 1 colorless, 1 red, lizard rogue, 1/3, but it's an offspring. And so you pay another 1 and a colorless and a red, and you get another one of these guys, except it's a 1/1. And they have the Perforos effect. So whenever another creature enters the battlefield, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. So I like that we've had Perforos for forever, and we have like impact trimmers and all that stuff. But this is the same cost as a Perforos. So you are able to, if you have decks that you're playing a lot of creatures, which you tend to do. I end up using Perforos a lot. I don't want to build a deck of just him, but if I have a deck that I'm playing a lot of creatures, he is always in there. And I love that we have another tool that is the same CMC, and you get the same effect, 2 damage. But you can separate it with this one. I know Perforos is 2.
Yeah.
Oh, not separate, because it's doing to opponent. Sorry. But
so
anyway.
do you put this over the other versions, or are you just kind of picking this because it is new and fun? Well, but like just that style, you want that in red.
Well, I originally have Perforos on my list, and then I was like, well, also this, and this is actually an expensive card because I had to get it for
$9-10. Yeah,
I had to get it for my Elsha deck. You know, I have Perforos and this in that deck, and I love that in this. You know, being able to, and that's the other thing is it's making the offspring. So if somebody's doing spot removal, I know Perforos is indestructible, so yes, I would take that over this potentially. But if they could exile Perforos, boom, that's gone. This, they have to hit both of them. You know, if you get rid of one, if you're only doing spot removal, the other one's going to stay there, so it's still doing its thing. So I just like that. I like these cards. Like I like you end up building a lot of decks that you're playing a lot of creatures, and with red, you'll have that happen a lot. And so you end up using this a lot in decks more than you would know or than you actually think about. You know,
they're doing a lot more of these kind of effects right now too. Like they've kind of proliferated in the last like 2-3 years. Like Modern Horizons had an artifact creature that had Unearth with this kind of effect. I mean, we've had Impact Tremors forever, Perforos, like you're saying, and I do try and avoid it actually, other than I have it in my Convoke deck. That's like the theme. And so there's enough cards to make a theme out of this, and it can start moving really quick. But yeah, I agree. You can add this into any token deck.
Yep.
And it's just it's a way to win without combat.
And I'd probably add in there, and this will get rid of one other card, but Terror of the Peaks does a similar thing. That's on my list as well. But I feel like it falls in the same category. So Perforos, Agate Instigator, and Terror of the Peaks. They all are awesome cards with ETB of your creatures dealing damage to opponents. Terror of the Peaks is any target, but we're going to just lump that in here. So, all right, Lowry, what is your third selection?
Okay, well, we're getting into a spot where I want to know what you're doing because I want to make sure that I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I'll start hitting the big guys that I would know I want to get in there.
Okay.
If you don't get them out. But there is some that I'm going to leave off of there because I do not play them. Just saying, and I don't know if you want to put them.
I was looking at the thumbnail that you made.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm hoping you're going to talk about those both.
So you're leaving those two to me?
No. I want to split that.
I'll take the dragon.
I want to talk about the dragon.
Because I have a tattoo of it. You can't take dragon.
Whatever.
It's
You
mine.
might get both of them. I'm going to talk about Jessica's Will.
All right. That was one of the ones I wanted to get in there. So I'm glad you got that one. All right.
Yeah. So Jessica's Will is the card that everybody probably hates the most after Dockside Extortionist ban. It's 2 and a red sorcery. Choose one. If you control a commander, choose both. Add red for each card target opponent in target opponent's hand, and or exile the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play them this turn. I was kind of down on this back during the last Kamigawa, probably. Like, I was really disappointed with it in my Hinata deck.
It's funny you say that because when it came out, I was unimpressed with it that I never used it. So I didn't realize how good it was until I was kind of forced to use it. You know?
Well, I do think that it's, that's the thing. I agree with you, as in, like, now that Dockside does not exist, this is exponentially in all my decks now. It just kind of was the replacement, the easy one.
And so now I've been seeing it a lot more, where I just chose not to put it in deck, so I never played with it. I was just like, I don't like having to depend on what everybody else and whatever. But now that it's in all these decks, I'm seeing it work, and I'm like, oh, this is actually a really good card.
We were. I'm not going to say that we poo-pooed it. Right. I think we were very high on it. Right. But it's just something that wasn't for us.
Yeah.
And then the other thing too is, like, my complaint during Hinata, but still kind of to this day, as in, I like playing 3 colors. This only gives you 1, and so it's not really an early game play for me. This is a late game play.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really a ramp card for me. It is a, like, okay, let's swing for the fences now. What are we doing this turn? We're gonna cast Jessica's Will into the X, Y, and Z because I need a white and a blue and a red, or I need 2 white and 2 blue open just in case I show these X amount of cards. You know what I mean? That was my problem, where, like, I'd show a land and 2 off colors and not be able to cast them both and just leave a ton of mana on the table. That became something of a bad feel for me. But it's just a lot of raw power, especially, like, I just had to adjust and learn when I should be playing it. And it's great in 1 and 2 color decks. 3, you just got to wait a little bit longer, and then it's It's very good.
Mhm.
And if Red's gonna get another ban card, this is probably it.
Yep.
But it doesn't feel like it should be bannable, at least at this point.
Yep.
So
Yep. Agreed.
What do you got?
Well, I'll just do the dragon then, dude. Let's do Cavern Horde Dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, I got capitalized going there. Okay, so we do have all these dragons that are doing stuff with treasures. We had the Copper Dragon, which is one of the special cards, and Tad got it. Oh, good for him in one of his packs. So that's the special whatever. Anyways, those are good, except like that doesn't have what this has. It doesn't have the haste. It doesn't have the reduction. So Cavern Horde, 7-drop or 7 colorless, 2 red, 6/6 dragon, but it costs X less for the greatest number of artifacts and opponent controls. You got to choose an opponent. They have 5. Well, now this card costs 4 to come out. It has flying, trample, and haste. And then whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you create a treasure token for each artifact that player controls. Yeah, the dice feels like you could hit higher, but you always got to wait a turn unless you have a haste enabler in that with the Copper Dragon. The other dragon is like one, what is it? Which dragon is that gives you a treasure and they... Oh, wait, I have it on here.
Goldspan Dragon.
Goldspan Dragon. I'm not picking
And then
that
there's the new Triad as well, like
Yeah.
Gold Dust Triad.
Yeah. So
with the Myriad.
Oh, that I like that one. But this just seems like you get this out for so cheap because everybody has artifacts. It's not, you're never casting it for 9. It's always coming out for 4, 3, if you're lucky, sometimes 2. And then if you're attacking that player, you're getting 7 treasures because he has trample and fly. Like it's a great card. I don't just have it in treasure themed decks. It's in a lot of my decks and then when I made the proxy of it, I was like, all right, this red deck, I went to all my decks and I put it on top of which ones were getting it because it's that good of a card.
Right. And I think independently, again, I think we both landed on this being the best version of that.
Mm-hmm.
This was my first kind of real replacement for Dockside.
Yeah.
Like it is 2 to 4 mana. This is very playable at 9.
Yeah.
It's not what you want. You'll never pay 9 for it, but it is. If somebody Vandal Blasted, and then I top deck this, I'd still slam it at 9.
Yeah.
Maybe not with nobody having.
Right. I was gonna say then
How
there's
about-
no
yeah,
point
maybe
in
not
really.
that.
I mean, you're hitting with
like,
the 6/6.
if it's at 5, I would still be happy.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
And so it's just quite a good card.
Yep.
Very good. I'm happy with it for sure.
All right, we're on. You got 2 more picks left.
Okay, since I just said it, and I think it is very much something deserving of it, we should go. Let's talk about Vandal Blast.
That was one I was not gonna pick, so you got it.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let me get it down. Vandal Blast. This is as Tad's last said it, and I very much agree with him. This is you run this in every red deck.
Yeah. Pretty much.
The problem that I have is that it's very much funded in every red deck. So I do try and back off on this, and this might be the only red card on the list where I'm just like, I don't need to put this in every deck just because it becomes too much.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that good. Like, it's a Cyclonic Rift for artifacts. You're hitting everybody else's artifacts. I have destroyed people with this card. Absolutely just swing games in your favor with it. There isn't... This, I would say, is the best red card.
Best
and
overall.
It's weird to say, but it is. You will absolutely wreck just about every table you go to with this.
Yeah, because that 5 is not much to get rid of everybody.
It's not, and you hit it ASAP.
Yeah,
and you'll reset. You'll get rid of everybody's rocks, reset the clues, the treasures. It's because it's right. Everybody gets like one real turn, basically, and then you're resetting everybody's ramp. because that's really, you know, like the first turn is, for us at least, is like a tap land. Second one is a rock. Third one is a rock plus a spell, or draw plus a spell. And then at that point, like, you're just kind of set up and you're rolling, and a Vandal Blast just resets us.
Yep.
And so it's such a good play. As soon as you can, you're gonna hit, and at any time you tap deck this later in the game, you do it, and you'll be ahead. You're getting rid of the protection with boots and greaves, and you know, the only real thing you'll get rid of Great Henge. The only thing you can't really deal with it is the One Ring, and you know what I mean,
and top,
and top. Yeah, those are the only two that you're really not dealing with. Otherwise, this is just an answer all for all artifacts. It's really, and leaves yours around.
Yep,
that's the biggest thing. It's just that huge swing. So that's where I'm at.
I would even say this is playable if it was at 6 or 7, you know, for the overload cost. Like, that's how good it is. You know, being at 5, it's just really easy to do. Like you said, just reset everybody else's stuff and yours still stays there. You know, that's huge.
Overload's really good.
Okay, I'm gonna hit one of the big guys. And I do play this one a lot, and it does go in almost every deck, but this one. Oh, dang it. Wheel of Fortune. I spelled fortune wrong.
Wait, oh, you're doing that one?
You thought I was gonna go with the other one from the face value.
You're doing that one. Okay.
I'm doing the OG. The big guy. This one's this one's dollars in there, but if you can get this in your
yes,
your toolbox, you should get this. It's a great card to reset your hand. I mean, it's freaking Windfall. Well, Windfall's the most cards.
No,
in
it's
hand,
better than Windfall.
Yeah, this is the best. This is wheeling. This is what
the original
this is
wheel.
What,
this is what
why we
based off.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is why we call wheeling. This is from this card. If you can get this and you play red, get this card. Should be one of the top cards. I mean, just all players discard their hands and draw 7 new cards. It's fantastic.
And so it was on my list. I probably wasn't going to say it with my 5th pick, but Wheel of Misfortune, if you weren't going to be as douchey, or bougie, I don't. Same thing.
What do you think about Wheel of Fate then in there as well? Wait, Misfortune.
Wait, is that the one with?
Oh wait. I wrote down the wrong one. Nope, I wrote that. Yeah, I wrote down. I meant to put Misfortune on mine. I have it written down as Fate, but it was supposed to be Misfortune. Yeah, Misfortune's choosing the number.
I'm a big fan of Wheel of Misfortune.
Yep.
If I'm doing one, I'm doing the other.
Yep.
Honestly.
Yep.
I do like the Misfortune maybe better because it creates like a funner atmosphere of people trying to figure out what they want to do.
Yeah.
And again, I have it in my Judith deck. I have that in my Rowan deck. Rowan wants to take the damage.
And that's probably a good point right there, that if you don't want to drop let's see what Wheel of Fortune's at for money wise. 200 and that's a collector's edition. A real one, $321 for the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Misfortune is right there. You know, it's
right.
1B.
$5 to $7 right now.
Yeah. So if you don't have the Wheel of Fortune, I still think Wheel of Misfortune is just as good. You know, this is 1A and Wheel of Misfortune 1B. So I dig them both. Yep. And like you said, because we both have these.
Oh, good for you.
If one is in a deck, they're both most likely in a deck, whenever we put these in. So, all right, Lowry, your last pick. What are you going to do? You're like, oh no, what is Adam not going to pick? What are we going to?
No,
I gotta make sure this is on the list.
I think I'm going to. So I guess I should. I'm going to be like. I got to look at some honorable mentions here. I think for me, even though it's really low for what I normally have it at right now, I've been trying to avoid it a little bit. I'm going to go with Chandra's Ignition.
I had that on there, and I think I put a Lao next to it. Let me check.
Okay, you're leaving it for me. It's really close. I hope that you're picking the other card, the Game Changer, baby.
Yeah.
But Chandra's Ignition is 3 and 2 red sorcery, Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each other creature and each opponent.
This is huge. It's a good
I've
card.
been high on this
for a
since
long
it was
time.
printed, essentially. And it's been reprinted a few times in the last year, and it's been good, year and a half. And it's still good, even though the prices kind of dropped. But if your creature has Death Touch, it kills all of the creatures. If it has Life Link, you're gaining all that life.
If you're making a Voltron, if you're making a Voltron type deck where you're pumping up your creatures and getting them big, and really it's just one creature that you're worried about, it's a game winner. Like a lot of times when I use this, it's a game winner. I'm like, well, my creatures are getting huge, and then I'm going to use this as wiping the board, but also killing the players. Like there's so many ways you can use this card.
If it has Infect, you're able to deal that damage to the opponents. Like it's limitless. It's so good. Again, it's very much like it's a Wrath where you're leaving one of your creatures around, and your biggest creature, and then you're gonna, like you said, oftentimes you might knock somebody out. You'll have one huge creature left. You'll likely have wiped the board, and you'll probably kill somebody else on an attack.
Mm-hmm.
And then there might be one more person around, but they've been heavily damaged. The card is fantastic. Again, 5 mana is nothing.
Yeah.
Also, the other cool thing about this card, it targets. So again, in Feather, you can redo this. In Shiko and Narset, it can be copied. So it's copied in that kind of deck.
In Blanca, in Blanca, he gets bigger.
He gets bigger
because you target. This is really good. And you like it so much that you picked the worst version in the new set that's very similar to it, that doesn't do it to the players but does it to the creatures, because you like that effect so much. And I agree with it. Like that's a good effect for red. I like it.
And you know what? This is the only Wrath that we've talked about so far. For a gameplay perspective, I like this so much better than
Blasphemous Act. Yep, that was one I said. When I said I am not choosing that card, that was the card I was saying I'm not. And this is our play style, but it's a boring Wrath. Right. I don't have it in a single deck.
I don't have it in a single deck either.
Yep.
I'll put it in something that's like Stuffy Dolling. If it's that kind of
that
deck,
makes sense.
I'll do it.
Yep.
But other than that, it's a boring Wrath that I haven't played in years.
Yep. I mean, I know I've had to have played with it, but I feel like I haven't because I don't like it. Like it's just like, ugh. But the Stuffy Doll angle is really good.
Yep.
You know, like I like that. Chandra's is amazing. You played it for years before I got wrecked by it. I believe it was from Feather multiple times, and eventually there's a lot of cards that happen to that you play with, and I
took it out of Feather because it was brutal. Like it really killed the game. Like basically I was able to go like pump draw, Chandra's Ignition, next turn do it again, and then like it just wore the game down. Nobody could do anything, so that I did end up taking it out of there. But so it started getting into decks because especially if Blanca is for sure in there. There's just I think it actually is in my Kiri deck because Akiri gets so big. It is in Akiri. Akiri gets huge.
So it's one of the Day of Dragons. It's one of the game winners for a lot of times is how I play it. It's like that's when it goes in decks for me. Is on that kind of thing. So I'm glad you got that because I put Lau next to that pick there because I was like, if he doesn't get it, I want to get it. But the last one is like you said, Game Changer. It's the thumbnail. And I want to change it to the cool picture. That one's not that it's not cool, but I like that.
It does have Calamax on it.
I don't want to get you turned on, Lowry, so I got to play the dragon.
Too
one.
late. Too late.
So deflecting SWAT. It's Red's counter spell in a way. Free spell. I still don't think it should be a game changer because it's just really a protection thing. This really doesn't change the game to me. It's more of when your stuff's getting removed, boom, it does what he's doing in the picture, deflecting the whole thing away. It's fantastic. I love it. I use this in almost every single red deck, because that free, when it's your commander's in play, it's just great because that's what you're wanting to do is protect it and not have to spend mana on it. And even if you have to spend mana, it's 3. It's 3. That's super easy to do.
Right.
So I love this card. So I've been
completely agree. I mean, and the other thing that I really like about it is that it's not a solve everything.
Right.
It does not do anything against a Wrath.
Right.
There's a lot of times targeted.
There's a lot of times when somebody's like, I do all this. It's like, can I? No, shit, that's not going to save me. Like it's
that's why I don't think it's a game changer. Like I can at least understand why Teferi's Protection is up there because it does everything.
Mm-hmm.
This is not doing everything. It's changing one targeted spell.
Yeah.
We both agree to disagree with
what they put it in the game changer stuff.
Yeah, but it is fantastic, and it's going to be played a lot because it's going to go in every mono red deck. It's protecting your commander because your commander's in play.
I would even say
that's when you get to play it for free.
I would even say I think the only decks that it might not go in if you're playing red like combination is white. Or if you're a counterspell blue player and you're a douchebag. Just kidding. But white would be the only color that I feel like has enough other protection where you don't need deflecting SWAT. But I don't think that you would avoid putting it in there. Like it's that good to keep it in if you're in a white. So. Yeah. So I mean I would still play it, but white would be my only one where I'm like, I got enough other things that are protecting all my stuff that I might not need to use this, but I probably still would mix it in there. So it's in Duke. Yeah, it for sure is in Duke. It's in Duke along with all the other stuff. So yeah, I mean it's in a red-white deck. So all right. Well, that is our Fave 5 top 10 core cards for Commander. Let us know which ones would be your Fave 5. What are the top 5 cards that you guys would use? Just drop that in the comments below. Love to hear what you're playing. I mean, everybody's is different. Like we said, we both don't play Blasphemous Act. There's people that are probably put that in every single deck as their removal. Like it just kind of depends on your play style and your play group and all that. So I'd love to hear what everybody else does. So it's funny because I did write. Do you want any honorable mentions at all on this? I feel like Burgee would be a good one as a honorable mention.
That wasn't even on my list.
Because it's every spell you get a red, and I thought that was pretty good. Ibukaki wants Blood Moon in here.
He does. He might be right on that.
Yeah.
The two that I think I would have wanted to mention the most would have been Dragon Rage Channeler or DRC. It's 1 red, 1/1.
The
and then when you have Delirium, so 4 more card types in your graveyard, it gets +2/+2 and has to attack and flying, and it's a dragon. But whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you get to Surveil. Like for 1 mana, that's fantastic, and you get to fill up your graveyard, and it feeds it into itself. And then the other one for me is Curse of Opulence, which is curse an opponent for 1 red, and whenever that player is attacked, you and the attacking player get a gold token.
Yeah.
It's super cheap ramp in red. It also directs it towards like the meanest commander that's at the table that isn't you. I just look at it as super cheap ramp. That's going to help move the game along and have people attack and stuff like that.
One I'm surprised you didn't mention in yours because it was a Lowry signature card for the longest time is Chaos Warp. But maybe you don't like it because you always get screwed with Chaos Warp because that always ends up being a better card.
That's I guess another one that I have not been playing for quite some time.
Okay.
It's been a really long time.
It used to be your go-to for the longest
Used
time.
to be.
Yep.
It's very much like Beast Within. It's like it was something that was really good and I played a lot of, and I think I just kind of wore myself out on it, and I'm cool with it. I just don't play it anymore.
I think the two that I would also mention is this one's just personally because I've used it a bunch, but All Will Be One because we're dealing with counters and stuff, and I like that one because you do that a lot, and whenever you put counters on something, you get to deal that much damage to, I think it's a creature and or players or whatever. You can choose any target pretty much. And then, well, okay. I'll say 2 more. City on Fire, tripling the damage, being able to convoke that makes it really easy to get out. And then the last one is Professional Facebreaker. I like that one a lot.
I almost put it on my list.
Yeah, so just I play, a lot of creature decks. I mean, most of your decks are creature decks, but that one's just really good to get treasures out. And then you can use those treasures if you're in a pinch to get cards. So I dig Professional Facebreaker. What did you think about, like, the Reaver Cleaver or Ember Cleave? Like, I had those, but I was like, I don't want to. It isn't something that goes in all. It has to fit in the proper deck, so it doesn't feel like a core card for me.
Okay, so I probably like Reaver Cleaver more as an idea because, like, when it's just something that's going to beat face, I generally don't want that on the deck because it doesn't do anything. It'll close out a game really quick. Don't get me wrong there. So if you're looking for a closeout, Embercleave is great there. But I'd almost rather have something that gives trample and gives me
treasures,
Cavern Horde Dragon effect.
Yeah,
like I'll take Reaver Cleaver over it, but still, that's even more. That's 6 mana.
Yeah, you don't get a reduction in the casting cost, but yeah,
right. So I just I kind of looked at them both sideways and went, no, that's not for me.
Good. All right.
Not in CCC, at least.
Yep, I got you. All right, let's move on to something we haven't done for a long time.
Perfect.
All right, and I have to learn how to do all this stuff again. Here we go. It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant. All right. If you guys don't know how this game works, I am going to read the flavor text of a card, and Lowry is going to try to guess the card by asking yes or no questions. Every yes will hear this.
Hello, boobies.
Every no will hear this.
Wrong.
He gets up to 5 wrong guesses before he's considered stumped. He gets up to 3 clues that should help give it away. If he can get everything about the card but can't get what the card name is, he will get the initials. If he still has a clue left over, he'll get a bonus clue, which should help give it away. The card has to be in at least 10,000 EDH rec decks, and we put the stipulation in that it has to be at least 2 years old. Currently, Lowry, your record is 112-42. We are on round 42, week 2. I got to get the prize out. Hang on a second. Let's see. Here we go. Currently, I forgot. It was actually the Ink Moth was our giveaway. So we have the Ink Moth in the kid art. Or, no, maybe it was the other one. I don't know. You guys can choose.
2 months ago.
Yeah, I know. It could be either Enduring Vitality with the baby deer art, or Ink Moth Nexus. Whoever wins can choose that. But also, when we get to round 3, level 3, so every 3 weeks we add a card to the ante. We are on week 2, but it's been 8 weeks, or almost 2 months. Once we get to level 3, eventually, Ragavan, and this was donated to a listener, Mr. Tommy Olson, this sweet Ragavan, you can win this. So every 3 weeks we add a card to the ante. First 3 weeks is a foil proxy. The next week, when we hit week 4, it's going to be another card, and then we hit Ragavan. So, all right. I eliminated the chat, so Lowry can't get any hints from the chat, so chat can play along, see if you guys can get it before Lowry.
They can get hints from me?
Get hint? Yeah.
That's not fair.
All right. Hang on, let me get this up here. We got
I can get hints from Bing?
I don't even think he's on anymore. He doesn't come on the live stuff anymore. All right, so we got a 20-minute timer, and it begins now, and here comes the clue. Flavor text.
Holy crap.
The wolf closed in, but then a strange wind whispered through the leaves, and with a burst of speed, the deer surged forward out of reach. This is from Ibukaki. I forgot to say that is our stumper for the night. So the wolf closed in, but the strange wind whispered through the leaves, and with a burst of speed, the deer surged forward out of reach.
Okay, so this very much feels like a green card. And like if I'm gonna try and read into the action of the card, so it's like something intervened and the deer ran off, so it feels like an instant. It feels like some sort of, not necessarily a boost, but it's almost like it gave it haste, which isn't really a green thing. The only thing I can think of there is like instill energy, and that's pretty old. I'd have to like, I don't even think that has text. Maybe in the like 5th or 6th edition or something. But I have to think about that a bit more. And so, because like if it was a boost, then generally they try and visualize like the creature getting bigger. And then the wolf's like, oh shit, I'm scared, and would leave. But this is like, it's very fast. So maybe it's like red-green, but it definitely feels like a green card with like the wolf and the deer. So is this a green card of some type, color identity?
Hello, boobies.
Okay, let's go on the first clue, please.
The original art features waterfalls, and a bird of paradise. The original art features waterfalls and a bird of paradise.
I don't like this clue.
I don't like this. This one doesn't fit me very well because it doesn't.
You got
really
a new
help.
one? You got a different one?
I do. We got to get to clue 2.
Okay, one more time, please.
The original art features waterfalls and a bird of paradise.
Okay. Is this all right, like blind guess, not a real guess right now, but it's like it feels like it's an instant from Alliances, weirdly, which would be a pump. Just looking for any reaction from Adam, honestly. Okay, is this a non-permanent spell?
Wrong.
We're saying it's a permanent spell.
Right.
Okay. One wrong. I'll take a second clue, please.
The text features a worldly benefit to all.
Oh. Do I have to say it like you?
Oh, no. Well, what do you mean? What do you mean, Lowry?
What do you mean? What do you mean? I've been saying that one to my son a lot right now. It's like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean? What do I mean? Okay, this is Concordant Roads.
Wrong.
Concordant Roads?
Fuck you. All right.
Is that how it's?
I can't think of it when I say it like that. Give me a second.
Concordant
right.
Roads.
One green.
Hello, boobies.
Enchant World.
Hello, boobies.
Concordant.
Well, you gotta give me the what's the text?
One word. The first word is Concordant.
Yeah, but what's the text?
All creatures have haste.
Okay.
Hello, boobies.
The initials are
CC.
CC.
Yeah. Okay. Concordant Crossroads.
There you
boobies.
go.
Stupid.
Concordant Roads. What is wrong with you? That was gonna be my bonus clue if you got to it. Was I famously, but not really, we're not famous, said it completely wrong in a secret layer video by myself because you were out of town, and I was like, yeah, this has Concordant Crossroads in it. And that's all I can't say it the other way. I see it and it's always Concordant. I can't say Concord. Here we go.
We're gonna start a thing here.
All right, wait,
It's,
I got it. It's concordant, right? Yes.
Concordant. Yeah.
But in my head, it's always concordant.
No, it is mine too. Absolutely. But when I said it like that, did not. It's hard to say.
So this was the art, or the one that I was using for the text there. So it's from the Double Masters version. So, Ibukaki, you can send us that $20 signed card. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But if you want, Mr. Alex, the next time you see Lowry, sign a land and say you suck. He has a couple up there on the old board.
Yeah, I'd have to relook at everything. It's starting to
somewhere. Oh, one thing I remembered, we're doing a cast on Friday, right? Because we got a double cast this week. So if you're listening to us, watching, whatever, we're gonna be on Friday live. So probably a little looser even on Friday because it's Friday. We get to play music. Oh shit!
We can do whatever we want.
Yeah,
like we could do Friday right now and just mess with people.
We can like play theme songs of TV shows and not give our
no, don't do that. Don't do that.
So yeah, we'll be on Friday night, 9 p.m. So if you guys want to grab a drink, join us on Friday. We'll be doing that, and then we won't be live next Monday, so we'll have a week off. But those that are listening, you'll catch the normal Wednesday drop for the podcast. So
podcast.
All right, gang, that should do it for this week. We will catch you guys on Friday.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
Sega.
I love boobs. I'm talking tatas. I love boobs. I'm bunkers for honkers. I love boobs. Thanks for the memories. I love boobs.
Ciao.
Hey, Meat Force, could you kindly